Texas-style chicken fried steak, and what we're gonna start off with first is the battering process, and this is where the chicken part comes in. It's the same recipe as making fried chicken, and we're gonna start off with first is our battering station here. We're gonna make a dry mix and a wet mix, and the dry mix, it's really simple. And again, if you want to take this recipe and kind of keep it in your back pocket, so you've got one for chicken fried steak, one for fried chicken, it's all purpose and it's really, really delicious. So we got probably 2.5 cups of flour, all right? And that's gonna be enough to batter 4 gigantic pieces of steak. You guys see this stuff. And then we're gonna season this up, all right, with onion powder, garlic powder, all right, and now it's going to give it sort of a well-rounded flavor, so it's nice and savory. So it doesn't just taste like, you know, salt and pepper and flour. It has like a really nice kind of savory element to it. It tastes like something a little different. All right, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, okay? And then a high note and a low note, so we're talking about salt and pepper. All right, nice big handful of salt. All right, and there's no real ratio to this. You can't really screw it up. You might be able to put too much salt in it, but definitely not enough black pepper, okay? So we got that, and then we got our wet mix, which is gonna be buttermilk. All right, now buttermilk is the way to go with this. If you don't have it, can't find it, or you don't like it, you can substitute whole milk. So I've got about 2 cups of some good, rich, thick buttermilk in there. And then we're gonna jack up that flavor with a little bit of hot sauce, so you know what part of the world we're talking about. All right, nice big splash here. Make it nice and spicy. And then we're gonna hit that with a little bit of salt and pepper too, and this is the base, okay? A little bit of salt and pepper. Again, a high note and a low note. All right, salt, pepper, and then I'm gonna take a fork, mix all these together. All right, and we are gonna be good to go. Okay, mix it all up so it's completely incorporated. Bang, buttermilk, flour. Where's the beef? All right, when it comes to making really good chicken fried steak, there's only one cut. Well, there's a couple cuts. You can use a couple different things. I've actually made really fancy chicken fried steak with like ribeye steaks. All right, it's actually kind of nice. But as far as like really traditional cuts, it's always bottom round. I've seen it in a lot of really, really old recipes for that. And bottom round is a cut of steak, and it's not a very tender cut of meat. All right, it's definitely not a cut of meat you want to put on a grill and expect to eat medium rare. It's kind of lean, right? It's not a lot of fat, a little bit of fat on the outside, but not much fat on the inside. It's pretty thick. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this into 4 nice big slabs, and then we're gonna pound it out with a mallet, okay? So we're gonna cut it probably like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, right? And then we're gonna pound it out. I've got a mallet here, and we're gonna use the side that has the teeth on it to really kind of break the muscle fiber and tenderize the whole thing. Good way to get out some aggression, right? It's gonna fall apart and melt in your mouth. Now that is a Texas-sized piece of steak. A dry, wet, dry technique here, right? So steak into our seasoned flour. We wanna make sure it's really, really well coated. Pat off the excess, and then into our seasoned buttermilk. Submerge it. Take that out, and then we're gonna put it back into our flour. It's ready for the fryer. All right, so we get everything well coated. I mean, take a look at that. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. What other state other than Texas could invent something this big and this delicious? All right, so we're gonna put that right onto the rack here. Quick little cleanup, all right? And then again, it's gonna go into the fridge here, all right, to let it set. And it doesn't take a long time. It takes around 20, 25 minutes, just to make sure you get a really, really solid crust. All right, so quick little wash up here, and we are good to go. This is one of my favorite dishes of all time. All right, in the fridge, 20 minutes, and it's gonna give us plenty of time to make some great side dishes. We're gonna fry. So I got 2 inches of vegetable oil. I'm looking for like 365 degrees. If you wanna grab a thermometer, that's what you're looking for, okay? So if you don't have a thermometer, I'm gonna take a little pinch of this flour, drop it right on top. If it starts to fry and bubble right away, we're in great shape, we're perfect. Okay, so we're gonna take our steak. Now it's heavy, so you wanna be careful with this. All right, we're gonna drop it in and let it start to go. This is really one of the best dishes in America, chicken fried steak. Got the last piece shimmering away right now. I got the 3 of the pieces on a board, letting some of the excess oil drain off. They're really, really super crispy, guys. They're staying nice and hot and they're great. It's really super crispy, guys. And take a look at this. And this is why they call it chicken fried steak, because it looks like a gigantic piece of fried chicken. I'm gonna put it right on top here. Now let's make some gravy, okay? Now, milk gravy is the only way to serve chicken fried steak. If you go to a place that doesn't have milk gravy and chicken fried steak, walk out. Drop out everything with about a 1/4 cup of oil right in the bottom. We're gonna take some flour and we're just gonna dump this right in. This is a white roux, we're making a white gravy. 3 tablespoons, and we're gonna start to cook this. Take a whisk, and we're just gonna stabilize and thicken our sauce. So the milk's gonna go in, we're gonna add about a quart of this, a little bit at a time. And then when it starts to smooth out, we're gonna add a little more, a little bit of buttermilk, and that's gonna give it a really, really fresh flavor. So a little bit of salt, actually a lot of fresh cracked pepper. And then because we're talking about Texas, gotta have a little bit of hot sauce right at the very end. A nice little splash, let that start to cook. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the gravy right there. That is the real deal, that's the stuff. Okay, when we let this start to thicken, okay, we're gonna take a crispy piece of some good old-fashioned chicken fried steak. Now that is a manly sized meal. That's what Texas is all about, ladies and gentlemen. A big hunk of something. And we got a cream gravy right on top. Cream gravy, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. You can't get this in France. You can't get this in Spain. You can get it in Texas, right? And maybe right here. Guys, this is a really delicious recipe. Try it out for your friends and family. They're gonna think you are a genius.